Is there a video game? Oh shit. Oh no. Not if it keeps on lagging like that. I won't be fucking playing if it does that. Not sure if you folks are seeing that, but my game was not happy with me for a second there. Yeesh. What's with the hitching? What are we doing? What's going on? Let me see if I've even got, like, a feed up for you fucks. Okay, there we go. You can hear me. Hello, all two people on Facebook. How's it going? Gotta say, felt like doing a little last-minute Assassin's Creed Odyssey streaming since Valhalla's already out. And the minute I fucking pass this test on Monday, this last hurdle exam, I'm going to buy it and go nuts. But, you know, if the game keeps on fucking hitching like that, I love you folks, but not enough to have to deal with this shit. Also, free to weigh in the comments. I can see you talking, just FYI. Always. But especially right now. You know, I guess if the graphics are... if it's jittering, I could just lower the graphics to 1080p. Fuck. I don't even know. I don't even know, you know? It's like, holy shit. Because I don't fucking know, man. Like, every piece of technology I've touched. In 2020, the year where we most need tech above all things, every piece of technology I touch fucking explodes. I set all my settings last night to get this streaming correctly. And it goes the minute I get going on it. And so maybe I just need to, like, I think that's the lesson that God's trying to teach me. Just, like, just accept it, man. It's okay. Things don't have to be perfect. Nope. Oh, we want to talk shit? What do we got going on here? Just FYI, I have completed this game in so many fucking ways. DLC finished, huge chunks of the map markers finished, side quests finished. Like, I sort of like tossed this one off when I first did it, and then I fell in love and could not stop coming back. And the real problem is, it's directly related to I started studying my, you know, political theory, and that means you're reading the ancient Greeks and shit, right? The problem with that becomes it's like every time I read about Sparta or like Athens or something, I re-download this game because I want to see the amazing world and all that shit. Wow. Good stealthing, Alec. Excellent work. How about that? Do I? Get out of here. See if I can remember how to fight, Jesus. No. Go to bed? No, come on, bro. You're overly fuck him up. There we go, beautiful. Come on, try me. Yeah, you know you want to go one at a time like it's a fucking kung fu movie. No. I go. No, come on. I'm just gonna burn my adrenaline like crazy until I actually remember how to play the game. Thank you. I know there's a way to get the game to slow down. I'm just like not good enough. Death arrows? Why aren't the arrow portraits showing up? Because I'm also running this off of my my non-SSD, and that can make you shit your pants. You specifically. Go to bed. Go to bed. Go to bed. Are we finished? Are we quite finished? Get my fire arrows back. Good night.
That should loosen their grip on power.
And I love it because I have to go through and do each of these like last stronghold missions to complete it. But that means that I don't have a side that I'm picking in the war. And so I'm just like wrecking everyone's shop, just like Spartan, Athenian, it doesn't matter. I'm just burning all of their supplies and making them say, just telling them to go fuck themselves. That's always kind of interesting. This works so well. I had this... my little chat window down there. That's probably the best way to do it. Because I have a decent streaming setup, but overall, it's cobbled together. A lot of people are way more professional about it. Give me. We done? Where's that goddamn wolf? Alright, I'm gonna take him out just because he's fucking pissed. Wait, is that a dog, or is that a wolf that's up on the battlements? If it's a wolf that's up on the battlements, I understand howling all the time. Yeah. Assassinating a wolf. Seems like overkill somehow, I don't know. Okay. And now, we are heading to the next big location, I think. Stand up. And that's the reason I've spent 200, whatever. How many hours? Let me take a look. Yeah, 185 hours in this game. I don't fast travel, which in a map this size is kind of stupid. There we go. Oh shit, really? Okay. I'm just gonna ride through the military camp and they can go to hell. No. Bad. Hey, you fight the pig, I'm leaving. You know, if night's falling, I'm gonna... just said, I don't think you say this when you're riding horses. I'm gonna pull over. I want it to be a nice, beautiful, broad daylight sort of a thing. Take full advantage of these graphics before I go play the game with the better graphics. And is it just me? This forest always reminds me of Bend, Oregon. I don't know why. There's just something about the pininess of it, the way that the ground is just covered in those needles that look like I know that it's not like that in terms of the actual climate, but I don't know, it always makes you feel at home whenever I'm playing this game. Oh, man. Really? That's the way we're going? I won't argue with you. I do wish there was a way to have the directions laid out for you on the road, but not have it be auto-following. That's the part that bothers me. Oh, yeah, fuck you. Like, I guess I could just, like, feel it out and navigate like you're supposed to. He's still coming? Yes. Okay. Yeah, fuck you, big fella. I'm out of here. I don't want to kill a lion. It's just hilarious if I do. I also picked the horse at the start of the game that's extra good at climbing mountains, so basically instead of a horse I have an ATV. Sort of how it feels. At least in The Witcher, your horse had sort of a mind of its own, and you had to struggle against it occasionally, but that made it feel like you were actually riding a horse. This game streamlines that. It's much more gamey, and I don't really mind that, I guess. I mean, Jesus, think about it. The games I'm mentioning, new Assassin's Creed already out, and Cyberpunk 2077, they say it's coming out. It never will, but at least they say it's coming out. Bad doggy. This is neat. I was playing Discovery Tour, and they were talking about how that is the actual symbol Sparta would have used. Like, I was watching this really good talk by Josh Sawyer, the guy who developed Pillars of Eternity. He was also the director behind Fallout New Vegas. And he's kind of odd because he's gone into game design, but he was a history major in school. And he was talking about how, you know, how weird it is that so many games are happy to go back over and over again to that classic fantasy well, but so few games are willing to actually use history as, like, setting. And his argument was, like, basically, there are a lot of developers that just think people won't play historical games, and he's like, the entire Assassin's Creed series proves you wrong. And there are so many cool historical settings you could pick. Ow.
To be careful not to get spotted.
I just didn't. I wasn't even noticing. All right. I kind of want to die and re-roll my attempt at this. Yeah, come on, fuck me up. I'm gonna take forever to die is the problem. I'm way too strong. Come on. I'm not even sure if there's a penalty for dying at this point. I'm like level fuck you and a half, 68. Okay, that arrow shot out of your back. He just looks like he's so fucking zoned out. Come on, one more. There we go. Oh, he got a kill animation. Look at that. I'm always the one getting the cool assassination animations. Carving up. Yeah, you got to fuck me up. That's nice. This test I gotta take is at 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna get grilled by 4 professors for 2.5 hours max. Closer to 1 hour, 1.5. 1 hour if I do well, 2.5 hours if I screw things up. But here I am with that date with Destiny coming up here, and I'm doing Insomnia streams. That's probably not the smartest move I've ever made. And man, it is getting to me a little bit. Like I almost always I am scrupulous about doing my work early in the day so I can kind of set it aside and not have it on my mind. Like, actually work and then actually play is my rule. And today at 9 o'clock, I was just like, I feel so jangled, I can't get it figured out. I guess I gotta go back and study. And I crawled back on, got back on my computer, my laptop, and just made it work. Alright. So now, we're gonna actually read the map the way it is, and deal with this fort. Fort Garanea. I sort of wish there was a better way to make this scouting stuff work. Like, it's neat to have the bird's eye view and actually get an idea of what the whole thing looks like from the top. Like this is an amazing system. Efficient, thematic, way better than the classic sort of dumbass Assassin's Creed you can see through walls that everybody immediately ripped off. Now, there's a lot to love about it, but when you go up there in the eagle vision, it does just become you sort of holding down left trigger and watching the circle go in and out as you mark various things on the map. That circle takes over your sort of entire perception. I could probably minimize that a little bit in the settings somehow. Can I get onto that tree? I can. Ooh, but she sounded like I did there. Oh god, come on. Just let me have this. God, fuck you. Can I boot him off the edge? Probably not. No. Just don't call the alarm. Just let me fight you out here on the terrace. Come on, give it to me. I was like, I'll do this stealthily. Alright. Oh, come on, bitch. 1 and 2. Alright. Back to stealthing. Get out of here. I should have got the guy over there first, then I find the body. Get out of here. Yup. What did I fucking say? Well, he'll come over here and then I'll just be like, yo, we're gonna be best friends. You and me. Get up. Alright. Now, back to stealth. God, like, this is just a little shrine that's here to help serve, what, Minos? Who was the god with the bull effigy? But just to do that, he didn't even notice me throwing the bodies off the edge. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Come here. He actually died, right? Okay. I just didn't need more issues. Was that really, like, most everybody? Someone's grunting. And I don't imagine that's a good thing. Ow. Fuck it. I could drop hard on this dude. I think I'm gonna try to take out his minions first. Done. You're next. Give it to me, give it to me. Come on, give me an assassination. No. Shit. I'm not sure there's something I can say, but after long enough playing this game, some of these Greek names do just sound like collections of random syllables to me. Philokripos. Did I want that? Well, I got it. Philokripos, which means, in Greek, love of creeping. Not sure if you knew that. That's why I had to kill him, because he was a creep. Where are you? Oh, I've got a bounty on my head just because I've been murdering. Oh, we're gonna have a bad time, aren't we? Oh, I almost got him. Wow. Gotta be honest, Mercenary didn't last that long, did he? Go to bed. Go to bed. Don't fucking fly over my arrow like that. He's like, whoa, what's going on? Oh, I can't. They're gonna light the beacon and people are gonna come. This is not my finest hour. Die. Come on, bro. Don't. Get this bird out of my face. I don't know if it was like a deliberate thing either, but there's something about the voice acting in this game where all of the characters seem like vaguely annoyed. Which produces this sort of lovely image of ancient Greece where it's just like assassins were like sneaking around all over the place and like having a crazy murderous lady is basically the same as having like rats in your kitchen. It's like, oh shit. Come on. I gotta put the traps down and... Jesus. Yeah, see, I could, like... Maybe that should be my last task in this game. It would take so long. I wouldn't have the fucking attention span. I was gonna say, my last task in this game is, like, actually have the Athenians win the Peloponnesian War like I want them to. Like I wished they had. Like my headcanon says they did. But ultimately, I don't think that I'm gonna have the attention span to do that. It's dark in here. There we go. Got that. And you don't actually have to take out the arrows. Just throw a torch at it and run.
It happens where it hurts.
Like your character Spartan. That's the thing. I wish they also hadn't made your character Spartan. Though it's neat. I'm wrong about that. That shit's just cool. Having her be the granddaughter of Leonidas. Which is kind of cool also, because like it brings across the of the female line in Sparta, because it's your Leonidas is your maternal grandfather, and it just brings across the fact that like the female line actually did matter to the Spartans. Like the women were shockingly equal for the time period. It's just that, you know, it was a society that was entirely based around killing as much as possible. Like, that's my thing. People have very strong opinions about history, and it sort of becomes their thing, right? Like, I know this one person on Twitter, like, all she does is talk about how much General McClellan sucks, and it's like, we get it. It's true. Lincoln once said, if you're, may I borrow the army if you're not doing anything with it, I get it. But, like, my version of that is Sparta is evil. Sparta is the worst society maybe that humans have ever come up with. There's another quest? I'm on hour 195. What's going on? Anything else? Oh, we got that. Alright. I'll drop here. Uh-oh. That guy was booking it. You see that? Just a bad day. Go in. Anything else? We have the last chest over there. Doing a great job being reinforcement, fellas. Just kind of waiting in the corner. I could, like, hop in and fuck them up. I know that there's a double assassination perk that I had at some point. Let's see if I can do it.
You're going down!
Nope. But Adrenaline Rush Sword Attack basically takes care of it. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't think I'll be streaming very long tonight, folks. I mean, legit, part of the reason I do this, even when I don't have, let's be generous and say the highest viewer count in the world, is because... Sorry. Made myself laugh there. Just king of understatement. But despite doing that, it's like, the one part of me says, you know, my YouTube catches it, and I always have space on my YouTube for my videos. They all get archived there in brilliant 720p 60 FPS. But the bigger reason I do it is just because, like, if it weren't for this, I would just be talking to the fucking walls. And so at least doing it this way, it's more fun, you know? Was there... Did I get the... There it is. That's gotta be the last thing, right? I love the idea of just leaving a chest outside on a ledge, which, in a way, in a real world where, like, people aren't crawling around on top of walls and shit all the time like the assassins do, that's probably there could be worse places to hide a chest. Because who would just look at a random patch of grass near your location? Alright. Well, apparently I already killed the bandit leader over there, but I didn't loot their treasure. Everybody shits on Ubisoft. Oh, just a map full of a bunch of bullshit that you don't want to do. No, it's a map full of bullshit that I do want to do. I'm gonna just check something real fast. Oh, hi, Mom. I see you too. Nice. Oh, hi, Mom. I see you too. God, that delay's fucking crazy. Oh. All right. We return to the game. No. I don't like the way they make little puppy noises when you hit them. I don't like the little doggy sounds. I feel bad about fucking them up. No. What am I even gonna do when I'm done with my comprehensive exams? Like, what does one do when you don't have a massive sequence of tests that really should have been done a long time ago, but which you weren't able to get around to because of the coronavirus, and then you failed one of them, which added another 3 months onto the process? How does that work? No, God damn it! Again, see? I will kill the shit out of a dog, but I won't like it. I'm definitely playing... Valhalla's on the list of things that I desperately need to do when I have some time to only work and not feel guilty. Good night. Like, and that's... Is that not growing up? Is that not the evidence where it's like... Now I'm like, oh, thank God, all I have to do is grade papers. That's a career, motherfucker. That's what a career sounds like. I'm a little sad. I was really excited to grade my students' papers this time around. Not like the actual activity of grading, which is... it is painful. It's not... What's painful about it, I like reading through, critiquing people. Who would have thought that I like critiquing people, right? But I like reading through, I like critiquing people, I like pointing out holes in their arguments and figuring shit like that out. What bothers me is the need to keep a grade curve right. You know? That concern that I'm grading people too harshly or too softly because I was grading the earlier people too harshly. That whole... The second and triple guessing of myself... I find that exhausting. Is that... Ooh, that's kind of a neat shot. The only problem is it catches the, what's that one? It catches the sail with the weird pixely thing that they do. But I like that shot. The game just wasn't smart enough for it. Corinth? Hi, Corinth. What next? I could go... Let's go for a walk around the beach. How about that? Nice, relaxing walk around the beach. Oh, no. But yeah, if I could just... If I knew that there were going to be concerns with students being compared to each other, or with, like... I don't want to phrase it that way, because, like, that makes me sound like a bunch of my colleagues are sort of, you know, grades are oppressive, they violate the equality, and what we really ought to do is teach people how to learn, and I'm just like, no, grading's good. I think grades are good. I think absolute comparisons are good and necessary. Not fun, but good. And that was the nice thing about this term. If I had a student talking to me, complaining to me, I could just talk to them and be like, they're like, this test is really hard. I know. I have to do this crazy test where I have to write 6,000 words in 6 hours and cite 30 sources from memory. And they go, oh my god. And then there's the other side where they're just like, well, yeah, but you're so much better than me at this, right? I'm like, no, I flunked that test the first time. Like, we're not that different. We're just at different levels. And the brilliant thing was, I was giving them advice on a particular essay. And I was laying out sort of a particular kind of advice, like, this is a really nice way to structure and organize a paper, but if you don't do it, then there's a sort of flaw you can fall into. And on my test, there was one answer that I nailed, and it was because I structured and organized it the way that I told them to. And I nailed the answer. And then there was another answer where I went off on a tangent, and it was because I didn't follow my own advice. And it was nice to see firsthand that I wasn't bullshitting them. That I was genuinely giving them useful advice that I've made use of. I was making use of as I was teaching it to them. They're good kids, man. And I know I shouldn't say kids. Scholars, as my advisor calls. Students, as I usually do. I feel like I'm not sure I'm a scholar, so it's hard for me to call them scholars. Bad dogs. No. I just get used to saying kids because my parents are both public school teachers, you know? That was the language, that was the rhetoric. You know, I'll be goddamned if they're not a year out of high school. Most of them. That cold feeling when I first taught the class last year and I realized, teaching it at 28, right? And I realized that they're literally a decade younger than me. They were class of 2019, I'm class of 2009. Just a, you know, just a wake-up call, that's all. What else do we got? Yeah! I don't know what that noise was. Sorry about that, folks. Ooh, give it to me. Those are neat. They're like little, what's the word? Little scavenger hunts. Like, it gives you a clue in what region, and you have to look for a landmark that they describe cryptically. Like, that's fun. That's a fun way to make use of your giant, hyper-expensive open world. I have to remember, I wish I had someone here to forced to look things up for me. The ass stab, man. It's just the most fucking brutal move she's got. But I was trying to remember if this was a Ubisoft Montreal game. I know Valhalla is. Because I think they're a pretty good studio, all things considered. Anything else around here? Did I do it? Well, the marker's not on the map anymore. So let's take that as having done so. What's next? Let's go loot a warehouse. Nice walk along the beach. Oh, saints preserve us. Turn off my phone screen. Ooh, look at that. God, the way the clay turns the water red. I mean, that's the best thing. That was the other thing. It's like, there was this whole idea where, like, for a while there, the culture war over Greek statues, and it was like, there were some dumbass news articles, because they recently argued. We're not gonna fight. See what I mean? Like, here I am about to disembowel the guy, and he's just like...
Keep it up if you want to die!
Oh. I'm wrong. Dick stab is worse than ass stab. But there are all these dumbass articles that were like, you know, we recently found out through some methods of, like, testing the age of the paint that Greek statues were painted. That they weren't all white marble, perfect, clean, what you think of when you think Greek statue. They were super colorful, and people would color them different ways for different festivals and times of year. Like, it was sort of like they were big old whiteboards that you could work on. And so that it mattered that they were white, and a lot of times in between events they were white, but they also had paint on them a lot of time. And I love that this game brings that across. I'll point out the statue to you if I can find one, if it comes up. But I think that's really cool. The only thing that drove me nuts is then it became like a dumbass culture war thing. Like, oh, white supremacists are so triggered by the fact that these things are colorful, so it's important for social justice that we appreciate these statues that have colors in them. It's like, I'm not sure it's important really either way. I'm not super sure about that. Maybe in an era where these fucking racist dumbasses are talking a big game about Western Civ and they don't even know what it means. There's this great meme, it's one of my absolute favorites. But it's like an alt-right guy, and he's like super excited because there's this Roman centurion approaching. And he's like, oh my god, based Roman centurion, come to save the white race. And the Roman centurion looks at him and goes, what the fuck is the white race? This is so true. It's like, your idiot racist categories, they don't matter. They're not, file 404, file not found. Your political crusade doesn't exist in the ancient world. One of the great things about studying history, studying the ancient world, is being free of dumbass political crusades that are familiar to us, that are hyper-topical. I can't sit here as a political theorist and be like, ah, fucking... History's not political, of course it is, and political ideas, historical ideas, ancient ideas, deeply influence our modern politics. It's just not the way that, not the simple cookie-cutter way that people think. History is goddamn messy. Ooh! Excuse me. Give it to me, come on. And that should be everything? With my 66 drachmi? Drachmi! Oh no, I got one more. Alright, let's go get that shit. I think I killed everyone, so we'll just saunter over. God damn, the way her armor glows. Jesus Christ. So good, dude. Even people who hated Assassin's Creed were like, this game is fucking pretty. And it is. The light glittering off the roof tiles. And I also love, the roof tiles are so nice, and they're always kind of a little wrecked. Because people just didn't take as good a care of their buildings back then. Even, like, buildings that were being used. That would hurt so much. You just fucking, just crack your ribs on that. I mean, you can see why people thought the Middle Ages were just shot, right? Wait, that's my boat. My boat's here. That's nice. How does it look if I switch it to 1080p? I shouldn't do that because the game might poop. Let's pull anti-aliasing down a little bit. That normally squeezes out extra frames that I need and want. And anti-aliasing is not as important when you're playing on good resolution. Though, of course, now that I've changed it, I can see it everywhere. And none of you give a shit. And that is fine. Do not have the relationship with graphic settings that I do. It is... You can tune and tune and tune and lose your absolute goddamn minds. See, and look, isn't this kind of neat where it's like, okay, we're in Corinth. If you ever wonder where Corinthian leather comes from, this is it. They also have a temple up there that that houses, they have a bunch of prostitutes. Priestesses of Aphrodite. Which is fun. But, like, see, there's, like, you got the houses, and they're all kind of added on top of each other. It's a little messy, but there are recognizable roads and streets. And then just one of them, not a special one, but they're just like, this house is gonna be an encounter where you can sneak in and take care of this, and, yeah. Well, that's handy. It incorporates it into the world in a neat way. And that's always my first strategy. Get high. Jump up to get down. Oh, God. Well, nope. Bad idea. All right. You hold him.
What do you think you are doing? Get to shelter!
Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Don't you fucking... Sir.
Simply delaying this. Death is near.
God, I love the voice acting in this game so much.
Delaying this.
My biggest question is how accurate are the accents and pronunciations? Like, because they get stuck in my head. I love the different sort of lilts they give. Like, it's not Socrates, it's Socrates. It's not, what's the other big one? Leonidas is Leonidas. The D's almost a TH. Leonidas, thus. But I just wonder, like, is that true, or are they just, like, it sounded Greek? I'm pretty sure the gal that voices Cassandra, one of my top video game protagonists, by the way, this beefy chick. I like a large lady. And the main reason I like her isn't just because she's attractive, though that's a lot of the reason why a lot of people, men and women, like Cassandra. But it's because she is such a fucking Greek hero, and she's such a fucking video game protagonist. And those two characters have a lot more in common than you might think at first stripe. They're not out to be good. They're out for glory. They can be big-time agents of chaos. Sometimes, like Hercules, they just freak out and murder everyone. You know, like... And I hadn't really put that together until I play her, and then it just... Because, like, she also always has a dialogue option where she's just like, yeah, I am the gift of the gods. Yeah, I am awesome. You know? None of this super deep concern about overweening pride. Hello, Facebook. I see you watching. Don't know who it is. You should be able to see who tuned in. I have to figure that out. I want to be able to call you out by name. For the Facebook viewer, we are just tooling around, wrapping up some of the last, like, locations, events, bits on the map that I haven't finished because I'm about to switch to playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla as soon as I take this test on Monday. And it's pretty rare that I go back, and I've had a lot of fun, about 200 hours of fun with this game. So, saluting it. Pig! Go red. Are we... Alright. I will never stealth. It's just not gonna happen. Don't you even think about it. Oh, I forgot! I've got my freak out button. There we go. When they decided to just completely lose their mind in the expansions and, like, actually give you godlike powers. That shit's fun. No, 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 no. I just wish it were, like, a slightly cooler weapon. Like, let me freak out, but, like, or let me have different weapons to freak out with. But I was never much for the polearm, poleaxe sort of a thing. Oh, boy! Oh, the police are coming to help me. No. Because that's the thing. You know, there's the story that you've probably heard in 300. But where it's like... The Spartans were the badass warriors who, like, weren't good at art, didn't give a shit about poetry, any of that kind of stuff. Certainly didn't give a shit about democracy. But then they're like, you know... But they won the war, and the Athenians are the effete, kind of wimpy... You know, not very masculine... all that stuff. That was the funny part, too, in 300, where he's like... He makes fun of the Athenians, Leonidas makes fun of his boy lovers, and it's like, the Spartans fucked dudes. They did. They're pretty open about it. What are you talking about? Done. Say, I'm an equal opportunity murderer. I don't really give a shit about the Peloponnesian War. But the point I was making earlier, it's like, there's this image of the Athenians as kind of wimpy. And what it comes down to is absolutely not. Like, the most famous example is the Melian Dialogue, which is a little event where during the Peloponnesian War, the Athenians conquered the island of Melos, which had been neutral between the Athenians and the Spartans. And they basically just start, like, occupying their ships there and killing a bunch of them and taking their resources and stuff. And in Thucydides describes this event where the Melians are like, what are you doing? Like, how could you do this to us? This is wrong. We haven't picked a side in the war and you're doing this. And the Athenians just said the famous line, well, we can do what we want. The strong do what they can and the weak suffer what they must. And that's Athens. Like, Athens could roll hard. So we need to remember that. See, I can't finish that because I'm a member of the Artemis group. And so I'm not going to go about killing the huntresses. I will head down the road a little bit, though. And then I think I had some like YouTube videos I wanted to watch, not just fall asleep to. God, my life sounds so hard, doesn't it? So I think I'll quit then, and I might have some binge day Reese's Pieces. Even though I had a Pizookie earlier, and I'm sitting here. It's a miracle. At this point, it's just a miracle I'm not gaining weight. Also, I'm normally in favor of their stuff, but this river is, like, neon. It's, like, Kool-Aid orange. I'm not sure that's how it's supposed to be. Does it look that way from your angle? Does it look, like, artificially orange? Or is it just my mom's television has, like, fucking crazy bright brights, dark darks, like... Can I turn on HDR? Do I have that figured out? I can. Did it work? Yeah. It looks worse. Way worse. Wow, I don't know if you're seeing things, but like, it looks uglier and it tanked the frame rate. Fuck that shit. I think that's because I'm using OLED on a HDR on an OLED TV, and like, never mind on that. Ooh, it also threw off my... Let me see if that actually threw off my total window there. Yeah, it looks like it did. Let's fix that. Hope it wasn't that way for too long. There's always been something I fucked up when I've been streaming these last couple times. That's sort of why I'm doing it. It's like, I want to take a little more time to stream a bit more seriously coming up here. Especially, I really want to start another, like, get everybody involved campaign of XCOM. I really want to do that.
I should try to stay out of sight.
But in order to do that, I need to work out, like, a bit more how streaming works and just iron out some of the kinks. And really, I don't mind just talking to air. I'm happy to just be here. My living room is open, again. Hello, viewer on Facebook. Happy to see you. Feel free to join in the conversation. But that's the way I like doing this. It just, my living room is open to you. You want to come by, see some gaming, see an alpha male gamer at work. I can't. I can never get through describing myself as an alpha male gamer with a straight face. One of these days, I'm gonna turn him orange. Yeah. Gonna soak him like an Easter egg. Yeah, I'm gonna solo this camp and then I gotta call it a night. Or else I'll be up until, like, go fuck yourself. Get out of here! He didn't die!
You're going down.
See, this is what happened. I went for the meme. I also, it is... 300 did have such an outsized impact that even here it's like... That move is called the Sparta kick. And everybody knows why you're kicking someone off of an incredibly high ledge as a Spartan. Someone should do a historical study and try to figure out if there was ever an instance in which a Spartan kicked someone off a super high ledge. See if that's referenced in, like, Emelian dialogue. Good night. Yup. Be honest with you, he's having a bad day. And so will you. Fuck! There we go. I also don't understand the logic of why some people speak in English and some speak in Greek. Who says? Who and where?
You will not walk away this time.
Oh, you saw me. Okay, that's fine. Let's go apeshit. Boom. Boom. I should also... That'd be a game with a bit more forward momentum to it to stream. Would any of you watch if I streamed Shadow of the Tomb Raider? Because I've been needing an excuse to finish that game. I know it's like a fun AAA puzzle game that I should like, but there's something about the modern Tomb Raiders where it's just pulling teeth for me. I don't know why. Oh! Now my screen's too small again. I will figure this out one day. There we go. The key is, and always has been, just never fuck with the graphic settings once you started streaming. Why would you ever do that? Let me have it. Come on. Oh. Got more treasure to loot. And for a game that's got to communicate a lot of shit, I mean, that's what I would say other game developers could really learn from this game. For a game that's got to communicate a lot of shit, the screen is relatively uncrowded. They do a decent job of minimizing what they need to minimize. They bring it up in combat, but then they put it away when you've been exploring a bit more. Like, it is mostly pretty artfully done. Sometimes the climbing could use some work. Alright, let's see. We are slowly making our way over to Ellis. Ellis? Probably not Ellis. But let's pick... Oh! Who did that? I didn't lose connection, did I? I'm still connected. Alright. Well, I'm going to climb to that location over there. Sort of set myself up for the next time I boot this up. Last couple times I boot this up. Come on, boy. Good horse.
Ella.
Ella just means come in Greek. And my girlfriend's dad used to live in a very, very Greek part of Sydney, Australia. And he always wondered why all the Greeks, when he was a little kid, he would wonder why all the Greeks named their dog, everybody named their dog Ella. Like, why was that? Alright, let's get up the wall! And then we're gonna watch my YouTube video. That was another technological thing where I was like, I'm fucking cursed. Like, I was getting all ready to do YouTube studying because I was running out of energy for normal studying, and YouTube was down today. Like, when YouTube's down, my life falls apart. There's nothing going on. Maybe that's what I should do. I hadn't thought about that. Maybe I should wake up and have, like, a 7 a.m. stream. Just, like, wake up and then immediately force myself to just talk like crazy. That could be, like, decent prep for the exam. Either that or I'm just really sleep-deprived right now. Really sleep-deprived. You watch. Oh, I'm gonna be up till 3 in the morning, at least. At least. God damn, look at this valley. It's so fucking pretty. Didn't, like, Greece? I will say, God outdid himself. God was like, I'm putting all the mountains here. It was every bit of the mountains. This is where they are. It'll be a fine cradle of democracy, even though, like, basically one city-state was democratic, and everyone thought they were really weird. Alright. Here we are. What a perfect way to spend, evening. Thank you for coming by, ladies and gentlemen. Poke your head in, see what the fuck's going on, and, I'll be back.